The lunar outpost sat quiet, far from any busy trade route or military patrol. It was not a place many people wanted to stay. Cold metal walls, old air filters, and long, silent nights made it feel more like a forgotten bunker than a workplace. But for Cole, it had become normal. He had worked maintenance here for nearly 4 years. He didn't complain. He liked machines more than people. Machines didn't lie or judge. They just needed fixing. Cole had almost forgotten it was his birthday, until the delivery arrived. The cargo drone landed outside Dock Bay 2, hissing steam as it touched down. Cole blinked at the alert on his wrist pad. Incoming package. Priority delivery. That was strange. He hadn't ordered anything. No one really sent gifts in deep space. Still, curious, he stepped into the docking bay and saw the large silver pod, resting in the center of the floor. It looked expensive. A message on its side blinked slowly. To Cole, from your friends on Outpost 9. Happy birthday, man. He raised an eyebrow. Friends, he muttered. That was generous. He barely spoke to anyone from his last job, but now they had sent him a gift. The pod's surface shimmered slightly, revealing it was powered and active. A gentle hum filled the room as the locking mechanism hissed open. The top half lifted slowly, revealing what was inside. Cole took a step back. Inside the pod was a woman, tall, calm, and completely still. She had pale bluish skin, long silvery hair that flowed gently around her shoulders, and wore a tight-fitting, elegant bodysuit with strange patterns glowing faintly along her arms. She didn't look like a robot. In fact, she looked alive. Then, her eyes opened, bright, intelligent, and strangely human despite their golden color. Cole froze. The woman sat up slowly and looked around. Her gaze landed on him, and for a long moment neither of them spoke. Finally, she said in a soft voice, I am designated Leary, companion model Zeta 9. Do you own me now? Cole blinked, completely lost for words. Wait, what? She tilted her head. You are Cole. This pod was addressed to you. I was activated under your name. You are now my registered companion holder. Cole rubbed his forehead. Okay, hold on. I didn't order you. This must be some kind of mistake. Leary stood up gracefully. She was tall, nearly his height, and moved with the elegance of someone trained to behave perfectly. There is no mistake, she said calmly. I was sent as a gift for your emotional and physical well-being. That was my programmed purpose. He stared at her. You mean, you're some kind of robot? No, she replied softly. I am a living being. My species is known as the Viralan. I was modified and trained to serve as a high-class companion, but I am not artificial. Cole's stomach turned slightly. So, you're alive, and someone thought it was okay to just send you like furniture? Leary's expression didn't change. It is common among certain regions of the galaxy. I was taken, reconditioned, and sold. You are not the first human to receive such a gift. He looked away. This felt wrong, very wrong. I didn't ask for this. I understand, she said gently. But now I am here, and you must decide what to do with me. Later that evening, Cole sat in the outpost's small lounge. The lights flickered slightly as the power grid ran its usual low-energy cycle. Across from him, Leary sat quietly, watching the stars through the window. She hadn't asked for anything. No food, no comfort, just silence. You don't act like a slave, he said finally. She looked at him. Because I don't believe I am one. He nodded slowly. Good. Because I'm not going to treat you like one. Look, I don't know who exactly thought it would be a good joke to send you to me, but I'm going to figure it out. Maybe I can help you get home. Leary's eyes softened. Home is not something I can return to easily. Why? She hesitated. Because the people who sold me still watch for me. They think I am still asleep, that I am still harmless. Cole frowned. You're not harmless, are you? She looked directly into his eyes and replied, No. A cold chill passed through the room. Cole didn't feel afraid, just alert. Something about her voice. It had strength, power beneath the calm. "What? Are you really?" he asked. "I was once a diplomat, a representative of my people, until I became a bargaining chip in a galactic deal. Now I'm marked as a companion model to keep others from looking too closely." Cole leaned back. "So, you're hiding in plain sight?" She nodded. "Exactly." Suddenly, the console at the far end of the room beeped. A security alert flashed across the screen. An external scan. Someone was checking the outpost. Cole moved to the terminal and tapped a few keys. A patrol ship, probably just a routine scan. Leary stood, her body tense. "No, they're looking for me. That's not a patrol, it's a private bounty scanner." He turned to her. "What do we do?" She stepped forward and placed a hand on the console. The screen shifted, blinking rapidly. "I'll block them, but it won't last long." Cole watched the symbols appear across the monitor. Alien code he couldn't even begin to understand. He looked at her again, truly seeing her now. She wasn't just a gift. She was something far more dangerous and far more important. The soft hum of the outpost echoed around Cole as he stood beside Leary. The terminal screen was filled with strange alien symbols. Nothing like human code. And yet she worked with it like it was second nature. Her fingers moved quickly across the controls, creating patterns he couldn't even begin to understand. The scanning alert faded. "They've stopped?" Cole asked. "For now," Leary replied calmly. "But they'll return. They never scan. An area just once if they suspect something." Cole took a step back, still staring at her. "You didn't just block a signal. You rewrote part of the station's shield code." She nodded. "A small adjustment. Just enough to make the outpost appear like it's suffering from a data error. They won't waste time here if they think the system is malfunctioning." He was impressed, though he tried not to show it. "Where did you learn to do that?" "I told you," she said, turning to him. "I was a diplomat, but in my culture, diplomacy includes understanding technology, politics, and defense. Words are not the only tools of peace." Cole crossed his arms. "You're really not a gift, are you?" Leary tilted her head slightly. "No. I was taken, reshaped, sold, but I remained awake even when they believed I was frozen in the pod." "You pretended to be in stasis?" "Yes," she answered. "It was the only way to escape transport without raising suspicion. But now being awake puts you at risk." He sighed. "Well, I guess it's too late to pretend I never opened the pod." Leary looked down. For the first time, she seemed unsure. "I can leave if you wish. I can hide somewhere else." "No," Cole said firmly. "I'm not handing you over to anyone. You're not a thing. You're a person. That matters." A quiet moment passed between them. Then Leary's voice softened. "Most wouldn't say that, especially not humans from the outer sectors. They trade living beings like currency." "I'm not most humans," Cole said simply. "And you're not staying in a pod like cargo. You're staying here. At least until we figure this out." The next morning, Cole found Leary in the power room, crouched near the main conduit. "What are you doing?" he asked, surprised. "I noticed a weak spot in your energy distribution line," she replied, not looking up. "It could cause a system failure in 3 weeks, maybe less." He blinked. "I've been trying to find that glitch for months." Leary smiled softly. "Your machines speak in a quiet language. You just need to listen carefully." That day, Leary repaired 5 separate systems, including one that controlled artificial gravity in the storage wing. She didn't ask for tools. She made them from spare parts. She didn't need instructions. She simply understood. Cole watched her move through the station like she belonged. Not like a prisoner. Not like a gift. But like someone with purpose. Later, while eating in the mess hall, he finally asked, "You said you were being hunted. By who exactly?" Leary set her cup down gently. "There is a private syndicate that deals in high-value beings. Scientists, heirs, leaders, anyone important who can be silenced or sold. When my people refused to join their trade network, they targeted our diplomatic envoys. So they grabbed you, erased your identity, and sold you to keep your people quiet? Yes, she said. They called it a transaction. I called it exile. Cole frowned. Why hasn't your government come looking for you? They believe I am dead, she replied. The signal from my last ship showed destruction. It was faked but convincing. And if you go back now, there would be questions, political tension. My return might start a war. The syndicate uses fear to control outcomes. Cole ran a hand through his hair. So you're stuck, and now I'm stuck with you. You can still hand me over, she said quietly. Claim you didn't know. You would not be punished. He shook his head. No. We don't turn people in just because it's safer. Not where I come from. Leary looked up, meeting his eyes again. You're different from the others. I get that a lot, he smirked. That night, as the outpost lights dimmed for sleep cycle, Cole couldn't stop thinking. Leary had fixed nearly half the systems that were giving him trouble. She spoke 5 languages fluently. She moved like a soldier, thought like a strategist, and yet she sat quietly, never boasting. She wasn't a gift. She was a secret wrapped in danger, and somehow he didn't mind. A sudden alarm broke the silence. Not loud, but sharp. Cole jumped from his bunk and checked the monitor. A small ship had entered the outer scan zone. It was cloaked, but still visible to someone who knew how to read energy patterns. Leary appeared behind him, already dressed, calm and ready. That's not a cargo ship. No, Cole said, his face tight. Bounty hunter, maybe? Possibly, she replied. And they've already scanned the station. They know something's here. Cole felt cold. What do we do? We need to hide, and quickly. In the tech lab, Leary opened a maintenance panel and climbed inside the narrow shaft. Come, she said. They won't expect 2 people. Inside a thermal regulation tunnel. Cole followed, the narrow walls pressing on both sides. The lights inside the shaft glowed dimly, casting soft shadows across Leary's features. You've done this before, he said. More times than I wish to remember, she replied. I escaped many things, but this is the closest I've come to freedom. They stayed there for nearly an hour, listening as the outer doors hissed open and boots echoed on metal floors. Through the shaft's vent screen, Cole saw shadows move through the hallway. Voices, cold, sharp, professional, spoke, in a language he didn't know. Leary whispered, They've traced the pod signal, but not me. Can you block them again? Not without exposing our location. He held his breath. The footsteps grew louder, then passed. Another 20 minutes passed before the station's alert light blinked green. The foreign signal had vanished. They waited a few minutes longer before crawling out. The station was quiet again. Cole turned to Leary. That's the last time we hide an event. Leary smiled faintly. Agreed. Then her expression turned serious. This place is no longer safe. I figured, Cole nodded. But where can we go? She stepped closer, her golden eyes steady. I know a place. But getting there will be difficult. And if we leave, they'll chase us. He didn't even hesitate. Then let's make them work for it. The next morning, Cole stood near the outpost's hangar bay, his eyes locked on the small shuttle sitting half covered in dust. It hadn't flown in years, and even back then, it barely worked. He sighed and rubbed the back of his neck. Behind him, Leary stepped out from the storage wing holding a metal container. I found parts for a new guidance core, she said. We'll need it if we plan to leave without crashing into a moon. Cole gave a tired chuckle. You sure you're not a pilot too? I trained in multiple fields, Leary replied, setting the container down. I had to. My role demanded it. Cole turned to face her. You said you were a diplomat. Now you're fixing starships and rerouting signals like a spy. What's the real story, Leary? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she moved closer, her face calm but serious. You deserve to know, especially after everything you've risked. Cole leaned against a crate. I'm listening, Leary took a breath. I wasn't just a diplomat. I was the next in line to become a voice, our title for planetary envoys. I was trained not just to speak, but to think, calculate, and survive. My mission was to join the Interworld Assembly to represent my homeworld. That was before I was taken. Cole's eyes narrowed slightly. Taken by who? A group called the Cyrex Network. They operate in shadows. They don't work under any flag. They sell information, rare tech, and people, especially those who carry influence. So they kidnapped you and sold you as a companion to hide what they really did? Yes, she said. Selling me off as a gift to a remote worker like you? Smart. No one would suspect. No cameras. No visitors. Just long silence. Cole frowned. How did they expect me not to ask questions? They didn't care, Leary replied. Most don't ask. Many are too proud to admit they received someone important. Others simply don't care who they're given, as long as they obey. He felt sick at the thought. That's not how I work. I know, Leary said gently. That's why I told you. The rest of the day was spent repairing the shuttle. Cole pulled out burnt circuits while Leary cleaned and rebuilt the power core. She knew how every part fit. She even adjusted the nav system using a patch of alien code to bypass the tracking beacon placed by the Cyrex. They worked in silence like two people who had done this together many times before, even though this was their first time. By the evening, the small shuttle hummed softly. It still looked rough, but it could fly. Cole sat on the edge of the entry ramp, wiping grease off his hands. You said they're still hunting you. But what happens if we actually reach your people? Will they welcome you back? Larry hesitated before answering. Not right away. I'll be questioned. Many will believe I've been changed or controlled. But if I show them the truth, if I prove I've survived, they'll have to listen. What's the truth? Cole asked. She met his gaze. That I was taken. That I escaped. That I found help in the most unexpected place. That night, a warning light blinked red across the outpost monitors. Cole rushed to the console. Another signal. Same source. As before, they're back. Leary appeared beside him, already alert. They won't search this time, they'll land. We need to go, Cole said. Now. They ran to the hangar. The ship's engine groaned as it powered up. Cole slid into the pilot's seat. You're sure this thing will hold together? I've done what I can, Leary said, strapping in. The rest is up to your flying. He grinned nervously. That's the part that scares me. The hangar doors opened, revealing the black sky above. Just as they began to lift off, lights appeared behind them, another shuttle entering the bay. They're here, Cole shouted. The enemy ship's weapons charged, but Leary tapped a control panel. A pulse of energy fired from their ship's hull, hitting the hangar door controls. The large metal plates slammed shut, cutting off the enemy line of fire. Cole pushed the shuttle forward. The engines roared, and they shot out into space. The stars stretched around them as they flew into open space. But they weren't safe yet. On the radar, a second ship was moving fast behind them. They're following, Cole said, his hands tight on the controls. Leary pulled up a map. There's a debris field ahead. We can lose them there. Cole nodded. Hold on. The shuttle entered the field, a mess of floating rock, broken ships, and ancient metal platforms. Cole weaved through the mess like a racer, while Leary redirected power to the shields. The enemy ship tried to follow, but clipped a piece of old wreckage and spun out of control. We did it, Cole yelled. Leary looked back at him, smiling for the first time. Not bad for a technician. They flew for another hour in silence before setting a new course. Cole asked, Where are we going now? To a place I hope still exists, Larry said. An old listening post used by my people. If it's still active, we can send a message. Then what? He asked. She looked down. Then we wait, and hope they believe it's really me. As the ship drifted through quiet space, Cole sat beside Larry in the passenger bay. She was staring out the window, her hands folded in her lap. "You okay?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "Just thinking." "About home?" She nodded. "And about you?" He raised an eyebrow. "Me?" "You could have turned me in," she said. "You could have said nothing, but you didn't." "I don't leave people behind," Cole said. "Even if they show up in a mystery pod on my birthday?" Larry smiled. "Strange gift, wasn't I?" "The strangest," he chuckled, "but also the best." Her smile faded slightly. "I don't know what will happen next. They might try again, or my people might send someone else, but I'm glad I met you first." Cole didn't answer for a moment. Then he said softly, "Same here." Above them, the stars shined silently. Below them, danger still followed. But for now, they had hope. The small shuttle hummed softly as it sped through space, stars flashing by like streaks of light. Cole's hands moved confidently over the controls, but he could feel the weight of every second. Behind them, the threat of capture loomed larger, with every pulse on the scanner. Leary sat beside him, her eyes calm but alert. "They will not give up so easily," she said quietly. "The Cyrex network is ruthless. They want me back, no matter the cost." Cole nodded grimly. "We need a plan. Fast." She reached out and touched the navigation panel. "There is a hidden relay station several light years from here, abandoned long ago but still functional. If we can reach it, we can send a coded distress call to my people." Cole frowned. "Long way to go. And you think it's still active?" Leary's golden eyes gleamed. "It's a risk, but it's our best chance." He glanced at the scanners. "Enemy ships are gaining." Leary stood and moved to the small storage locker. "I will prepare a defense grid for the shuttle. It won't be perfect, but it will buy us time." Cole watched as she opened a compact device and began assembling strange components with expert hands. Her knowledge of alien technology amazed him. It was unlike anything he had seen. The enemy ship's signal grew stronger on the radar. They were closing in. Cole steeled himself and called out, "Ready for whatever comes?" Larry nodded. "Always." As the shuttle approached a dense asteroid field, Cole pushed the engines harder. The ship rocked violently as it dodged massive rocks and space debris. The enemy ships followed, but Larry activated the defense grid. Energy, pulses shot from the shuttle, creating a shield of force fields that disrupted enemy targeting systems. One ship was hit and spun out of control. Cole let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. "Nice work," Leary smiled briefly. "We are not safe yet." Hours passed as they navigated the dangerous field. Inside the shuttle, tension filled the air. Cole broke the silence. "Tell me more about your people. What's so special about them?" Leary's eyes softened. "We are known as the Viralan. We value knowledge, diplomacy, and honor. Our homeworld is hidden behind layers of technology and natural defenses. Few outsiders have ever seen it, and you're their voice to the galaxy," Cole said. "Yes," she replied. "I was chosen because I could represent us with strength and wisdom." He looked at her thoughtfully. "Then they took you from your home, forced you into hiding, and now I'm the only one helping you." Larry reached out and gently touched his arm. "You have shown me kindness when many have not. That makes you different. That makes you special." Cole felt a warmth he hadn't expected. "I just do what's right." As the relay station came into view, a large, ancient satellite orbited a small planet below. The station was covered in dust and marked as inactive on most charts, but it still emitted a faint signal. Cole skillfully maneuvered the shuttle toward the docking bay. "Here goes nothing." They landed with a soft thud. The airlock hissed open, and Cole stepped out first, scanning the area with his portable scanner. The station was dark and empty, but systems flickered on as Larry accessed control panels with ease. "Good. The main transmitter is still operational," she said. "We can send a message." Cole watched her work. "What will you say?" Leary paused, then spoke carefully. A call for help, a signal only my people can decode. He nodded. Let's hope they're listening. Suddenly, the station's alarms blared loudly. Cole spun around. What now? Leary's face grew serious. They tracked us here. The Cyrex network never gives up. Cole grabbed his weapon. We need to hold them off until the message goes through. Within minutes, enemy soldiers landed on the station, weapons drawn. Cole and Leary took cover behind consoles and machinery. Stay close, Leary whispered. I will finish the transmission. She worked quickly, fingers flying over alien controls. Cole fired carefully, disabling one attacker after another. Despite being outnumbered, their determination did not falter. As the last seconds ticked away, Leary activated the transmitter. A bright pulse shot into space. The coded message sent. The attackers retreated just as reinforcements arrived. The new ships belonged to the Viralan fleet. Cole watched as Leary's people surrounded the station. The leader, a tall woman with silver hair like Leary's, approached. Leary, she said with relief. We thought you lost. Leary smiled. I am home. Cole felt a surge of pride. Looks like the gift was more than a gift after all. The Viralan fleet glided silently around the old relay station, casting their pale blue lights over the damaged structure. Cole stood at the airlock, his heart pounding with a mix of hope and uncertainty. He had never imagined he would meet an entire alien race, not to mention be welcomed by one. Leary stepped beside him, her gaze steady. This is my homeworld's fleet, she said softly, and they have questions for both of us. The airlock hissed open, revealing a tall figure clad in shimmering robes, Queen Arelyn, the leader of the Viralan. Her silver hair and golden eyes matched Leary's, but her presence was far more commanding. Leary, the Queen said with a nod, you have returned against great odds. Your courage is known. Leary bowed her head respectfully. I owe my return to this human, she said, gesturing toward Cole. Queen Arelyn's eyes swept over Cole. You risked much for one not of your kind. That speaks well of humanity. Cole felt a flush of surprise. I did what I thought was right, the Queen smiled faintly. That is what makes humans remarkable. Inside the command chamber, Leary and Cole faced the Viralan Council. The chamber was vast, filled with translucent walls showing stars and distant galaxies. The council members sat silently, their expressions unreadable. Leary began. I was taken by the Cyrex network. They erased my identity and sold me as a companion to hide their crime. I escaped with help from a human named Cole. One of the council elders spoke. You have returned with proof? Leary nodded, holding out a data crystal and a message from the syndicate confirming their pursuit. The council exchanged glances before the Queen rose. We accept your word and evidence. Your courage and your companions' help have prevented a greater war. Cole looked around, amazed. So, this is real? You trust me? Queen Arelyn approached and extended her hand. Trust must be earned, but you have begun that journey. Cole shook her hand, feeling the weight of their alliance. Days passed as Cole learned about Viralan culture. They were a peaceful people who prized knowledge and fairness. Their technology was advanced, but they valued diplomacy over force. Cole found himself inspired by their ideals. Leary, once quiet and reserved, grew confident. She reconnected with her people, sharing stories of her escape and the unexpected friendship with a human. The Viralan welcomed Cole as a guest of honor. Though some questioned his place among them, Leary stood by him. You saved me, she said one evening as they watched twin moons rise. More than that, you treated me as a person, not property. Cole smiled. You deserve nothing less. But peace was fragile. The Cyrex network had not given up. Their agents lurked in shadowed corners of the galaxy, waiting to strike. One evening, alarms sounded across the fleet. Scouts detected a Cyrex fleet approaching. Queen Arelyn called a council emergency. Cole stood beside Leary. We've come too far to lose now. Leary nodded. Together we can face anything. The Viralan prepared for battle, but Cole had a plan. Using human tactics, He suggested a daring strategy, using speed and surprise to outmaneuver the Cyrex. The Queen agreed, giving Cole command. Of a small strike team, the battle was fierce. Cole piloted a sleek Virellan fighter weaving through enemy fire. Lyrie coordinated communication, relaying critical data. Using a human trick, Cole feigned retreat, luring the Cyrex fleet into an ambush. Virellan warships emerged from hidden cloaking fields, surrounding the enemy. The Cyrex ships were overwhelmed. The battle ended. Cole's team returned victorious. Queen Erlyn praised him. "You have shown the strength of humanity, not just in battle, but in honor." In the quiet aftermath, Lyrie approached Cole. "We have a choice," she said. "You can return to your outpost, and I to my people. Or—" Cole looked at her, feeling something he hadn't expected. Hope. "Or what?" he asked softly. "Or stay. Help build a new future. Together." Cole smiled, reaching for her hand. "I never wanted a gift, but this is something I'll treasure forever." Under the twin moons, the human and the Virellan stood side by side, a symbol of a new alliance and a new beginning.